Mm, My name is Anupur Dani. I'm a freshie at Fast University in CS department.
Okay. And how do you find this particular field?
Find it very interesting. My father was in IT, so I've had an access to a computer my whole life. So it was an obvious choice.
Okay. Um, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? A very basic question, but I still want to know.
5 years.
So
I
five, if
plan.
you're a freshie, then I would say you should have your first job in the next 5 years,
Yes,
right? Uh, okay. Do you have something in mind uh, related to your career already? Have you started thinking about it?
something on the technical side, like cybersecurity, something that requires problem solving for the most part.
Well, anywhere you go in our field, you are going to find problem solving. Um, okay. So this session is supposed to kind of work through you guys. Uh, what you guys can do while you are studying at first, right? How you can groom yourself to land yourself for your first interview. Okay. Uh, the big tech companies, their interviews are pretty hard. Um, when I applied for Google, uh, there are certain stages. Number one is uh, screening your resume. I'm going to walk through all the steps. Second is uh, it's like an interview where they judge your personality. I'm going to walk through that part as well a bit, how we can make sure that we are um, up to the global standards when we are describing a personality. And then the three later interviews are purely technical. Uh, Daniel, as you said, they are very much related to problem solving. They test your basics. Uh, they test your data structure and algorithms. I'm pretty sure there is at least one professor in your um, during your studies who is enforcing on making your data structures and algorithms perfect. If you guys do that, if you're able to make your data structure and algorithms perfect, then whichever field you guys chose, even if it's quality assurance, right? If you guys are good at that, you are definitely going to land in in one of the big tech companies. If you guys want to go towards a regular job, then just keep on doing what you're doing. जो भी फास्ट में होता है उसको कहीं ना कहीं नौकरी लगी जाती है, ठीक है. But then the main point is, if you are targeting the global market, then you need to start working on yourself already. It doesn't matter if you are a freshie at the moment, right? 4 years pass like this, right? So you need to work on your personality. You need to work on your problem solving skills. You need to work on. Uh, you need to make sure that it's like I'm working at Google. I see these Google colleagues. They are way much better than me because of the background that they have uh, since they were born, right? But who's someone who came from Pakistan, obviously our background uh, is not that broad. Our exposure is not that broad. So when I joined Google, it was quite prominent for me that during my studies, I lacked a lot of things, right? So if you want to be someone that is at the global level, then you need to make sure that in every conversation or in every meeting you make yourself prominent, right? So we are having this particular meeting right now, right? Whoever amongst you is the most dedicated towards their career is going to show themselves to me, right? And then I'm going to have like a separate interaction with that person, right? So that's why I was suggesting you guys turn on your camera, and we make this session interactive. Stop me whenever you want to ask something, you have a question. uh, just after the first two slides, I'm going to give you guys a problem to solve, and I really want every one of you to solve it. Okay. We are going to give you like 5 to 10 minutes. It's a very basic problem, but I want to see uh, what's actually the standard of the fast students during this time. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen now. Let me know when you guys can see. Okay, I think it's presenting. Correct. Guys, you have to be interactive. Daniel,
Yes, sir.
I'm going to select you as the host of this meeting. And if it's possible for you, then just keep your mic unmuted.
All right.
All right, thank you. Um, okay, so as the topic says, and as what we have discussed, this talk is just to walk through the basic steps uh, we should take to strive for a job that is part of the big tech companies. I've had experience with Google. Uh, I did went through a few rounds of interviews with Google with Amazon. Muhammad K224717. Can you please unmute me, Muhammad? Thank you so much. Okay, so if I talk about my personal experience, it's been with Google and with Amazon, and I saw a certain pattern when I was giving the interviews, when I was going through the technical rounds, and I kind of tried to understand what are the basic characteristics they are looking in the candidate. So I'm going to talk about that. Do ask me if you have any questions. Um, so yeah, let's start. As the topic says, uh, the talk is supposed to walk through the steps through which we strive for our dream job. And as a technical person, as a computer scientist, the dream job has to be something that is on the global market. And to be on the global market, obviously, we need to make a lot of changes in our personalities and in our approach to solving the problems. So yeah, let's talk about that. Um, just a bit of introduction. I graduated from FAST, just like you guys, in 2016. Sir Fahad here was one of my professors. He taught me linear algebra, if I remember correctly. Uh, yeah, uh, he's one of the closest professors I've been during my tenure. Um, so yeah, if you guys are into data science, I would say that make sure that you use Sir Fahad to get your basics on probability um, and statistics correctly. So yeah, utilize as much as you can during your time at FAST. Do not waste even a single day. The market right now, when we graduated, the market was fairly easy. Uh, in our batch, I think it was just 50 students who were not able to get the job right when we graduated, right? But even those 50 were able to grab their first job, I think, in the first 2 or 3 months. So this is what the ratio has been during our tenure. But right now, I can tell you there are two challenges. Number one is computer science is 224,717. Thank you. Okay. So the first challenge is that everybody is getting into computer science, right? So रश लगा हुआ है मार्केट में कंप्यूटर साइंटिस्ट का तो इतनी जॉब्स नहीं है जितनी ऑल ओवर इवन इन लंदन राइट देयर आर so many computer scientists, there are so many applicants, but then obviously the number of jobs is not that much. That's the first challenge. The second challenge is Our The second challenge is that our the field which we are in, it gets updated day by day, right? We never thought that a product such as ChatGPT would be introduced in just 6 to 7 years after we graduated, right? And now that it has, a lot of us, even at Google, are worried about their jobs, right? Because ChatGPT is going to take a lot of the technical task on its own, and definitely the customers that software houses or big tech companies have, they are at one point going to start using that themselves, right? So that's another challenge. So we need to make sure that we are ahead all the time. So while you are studying, you have enough time, right? When you start working, you are actually you are working at least 9 to 10 hours a day, right? And after that, you don't get enough time to learn something new. But then when you're studying, you do have these 4 years to touch every new thing that's coming in the market, so that when you guys join the market, then you are specialized in at least one field, right? Um, so going back to my introduction, graduated from FAST, uh, now have around 7+ years of industry experience. While I was in Pakistan, I was a team lead for around 5 years for uh, three companies, and then I moved to London in 2021 to pursue my master's in data science. Um, and then just recently, I got a job at Google. So I'm working for the Android enterprise team. If any of you own an Android, then you should see when you um, lower down your notification tray, you should see an icon is called work profile. So our team is responsible for managing everything that is related to that work profile feature. It's just not an icon. There are a lot of complexities behind it. When it's actually a mode. When you click on that icon, your phone gets into this work profile mode, and then your phone is actually managed by uh, it depends on different cases, but just for an example, your phone would be managed by your employer, right? So when you join a company, if they provide you with an Android phone, then it's probably the case that they would like to manage your device just for the security purpose, for example, right? So um if you go into that, if you click that work profile icon, then your phone would be in the work profile mode. So everything that is related to this domain is handled by a team in London. uh, oh yeah, I forgot to mention that, just as an example, Google receives around 2,800 resumes a day. So this is just not about Google, it's about all the big tech companies. And I can fairly say, even it's about the the big companies, the big software houses in Pakistan as well. If you talk about, for example, Systems Limited. Systems Limited is, I'm pretty sure um, you guys have heard about Systems Limited, and Systems Limited would be one of your top priorities when you guys start hunting for your job, right? Anika, I can't see the last name. I'm sorry, but 224228. Can you please unmute your mic? And is it possible for you? Um, Guys, अगर आप shy हो गए तो फिर this session won't be as much fruitful for you guys. Sir Fahad, uh, who's your star child? I want to talk to him.
Anika, please unmute yourself. or might be Sufyan. You may unmute yourself. Sufyan.
ऑलराइट, ठीक है। मैं भी ऐसे ही था। तो लेकिन मैं चाह ही रहा हूँ कि आप लोग इंटरेक्टिव हो गए, तभी जो है यू गाइस कैन एक्चुअली गेट द मोस्ट आउट ऑफ दिस सेशन। एंड this is something that I was talking about when I said, "Na, we need to change our personalities. We need to be more bold and more confident. Only then we would, you can say that you can, uh, reach the standard of your colleague who's working globally, right? For example, even if you start a job in a Pakistani software house, you are definitely going to have a colleague who's working globally, because 90% of the products that you work on, um, they are eh, from the international market, because क्योंकि पाकिस्तान में तो इतना काम नहीं होता honestly। तो जितने भी आपके क्लाइंट्स होंगे वो सारे बाहर के होंगे, तो डेफिनेटली समवन फ्रॉम योर टीम वुड बी, लेट्स से, फ्रॉम यूएसए, right? When you start talking to them, you're going to understand in the very first meeting that he is quite good at communicating and then expressing himself than you guys are. Why? Because, just an example right here, I'm simply asking any of you to unmute your mic and just introduce yourself, and you're not even able to do that even.
सर
Yes, thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
वालेकुम अस्सलाम। सर
जी,
क्या इंट्रोड्यूस करना है अपने आप को?
अपने आप को इंट्रोड्यूस करो सर।
ठीक है। My name is Hassan Shahid. I am currently a student of FAST in the fourth semester. So basically, I'm a sophomore, and um I'm also learning prob and stats from Sir Fahad. And I love speed programming, and also wanted to learn about data science and AI, and want to pursue my career in data science and machine learning.
Perfect. That's good. Good. So if you are into
Sir,
speed programming, then sorry, just 1 second, Noah. If you're into speed programming, then you're definitely going to like the next problem we have. Uh,
Yes, I am really excited about that.
good, good. Okay. Yes, Murad.
yeah, sir, my name is Murad. I am currently a sophomore in FAST. From third semester, I am pursuing data science. I'm doing certifications from Data Camp, and currently I am in Kaggle. I have done 3 to 4 projects, loan protection, electric theft detections, and I'm currently into data science actually, and have done some work, but I'm a bit worried about job concerns in fast.
Job what? Sorry, you're concerned about job.
Like, yeah, like internships are jobs. I have made myself able to do any internship. I'm currently working with senior also on the projects related to data science.
Right. So you are concerned about, you just want to grab an internship already, which is a very good thing.
Yes.
Uh, I'm pretty sure professors from FAST can help you with that. If not, I'm going to share my LinkedIn at the end of this conversation, and whoever wants to approach me, you guys can, and I'll see what I can do myself. But I'm pretty sure there are a lot of professors who have connections in the market, and they can at least grab you an internship for now. And even with job hunt, FAST is actually one of the best universities when it comes to getting jobs to their students. Um, Trust me or not, the best IT university in Pakistan is in in Pakistan, and I would say it is one of the best universities in the whole of Asia, because I've had colleagues from many different countries, and I can probably say that the concept that we get from FAST, they're not very easily get gotten um, from other universities from other countries. Even my master's from London in data science, the university I opted for, even if it's in London, it was not as good at first, not at all, right? So that's why I said that make sure that you guys don't waste your time even a day at fast. Uh, Try to get as much as you can from the professors, and then also read as much books as you can. If you are into data science, then pick just go to Google, and this is something that I was going to talk in a later slide. But then, if you are into data science, then just Google and just type in the best book for data science. And if you even if you don't want to buy it, then um, type in free PDF. It's just a hack that I do. You would definitely get a free version of any of the data science book. And if you really want to master it, then go through the book. Um, okay. So Murad, I think that kind of answers your question. Anybody else wants to introduce themselves before we move on? Okay.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum.
One Aslam. Yes.
My name is currently in my second semester. I'm doing cybersecurity, and I actually wanted to ask two things from you. So, first of all, since I'm in cybersecurity, right, and I understand the flagship course or program for FAST is computer science. So after I complete my cybersecurity, then what changes am I to expect? How will it be different from computer science, and what is the scope for cybersecurity and all that?
Uh, Cybersecurity is not my field, so I cannot give you a detailed answer for this. But it was hard to actually hear you. If you can repeat your question.
All right. So my question is that I'm in cybersecurity, and I understand that the flagship program of FAST or flagship course of FAST is computer science. But I noticed for the first two semesters, so the first year, most of our courses are the same in cybersecurity, whether it be cybersecurity, AI, or computer science. But after that, it starts to change a bit. So, will that actually affect where I end up after I complete my bachelor's, or does it not have much impact?
It does not have any impact. Your university is going to make you learn the basics of computer science, and then in the last 2 years, if they are uh, giving specialized courses, for example, for cybersecurity, then even then they would just uh, make you learn the basics. That's all they can do. The rest is up to you, right? There are so many fields now, so many subfields in computer science, cybersecurity, and data science being one of them, that no university can actually give you that much detail. That's why there are these online courses, right? So if you want to, even in cybersecurity, I'm pretty sure there are branches. You cannot be a master of full cybersecurity, right? There has to be certain a specific domain that you are interested in,
Exactly.
that you
Yes.
in. So the university cannot. It's not possible that a university teach you every single domain during your studies, right? So they will teach you the basics, but then if you're interested in something specialized, then you need to spend some more time outside the university on your own. And that's what's actually the basis of this talk, that we think out of the box and then we act out of the box. Only then you would be able to mark yourself on the global market. Why I say why I use the word global market every now and then is the Pakistani market, unfortunately, is not up to that standard, and it's not going to give you that satisfaction financially, uh, career-wise. If you are really, really, dedicated towards your career, and when you join a Pakistani software house, you are going to see goals during processes. Uh, when you join the company, they do ask you if you know the standards. But then at one point, because of the Pakistani culture, you're going to see that not all the processes are followed correctly, and that's quite common. It does not mean that Pakistani software houses are not able to get things done. But some of the Pakistani software houses are way above in the international market. Trans Limited is one of them. There's 10 Pearls. Uh, there's Venture Drive, right? So I have seen clients in London that are actually getting their task done from these software. So obviously they are getting things done. But then when I moved to London, I saw far more efficient uh, handling of processes, and I like this way much more because this helped me more in obviously getting a better career for myself and improving myself personally too. Yeah, we need to think out of the box. Only then we would be able to prove ourselves in the global market.
Okay. I also had a follow-up question. So you told me that in order, if you're actually serious about your career and you want to excel in it, then you have to spend time outside. You have to work practically and learn all the stuffs you can learn during your 4 year period, right?
Right.
So I understand that right now I'm in second semester. I'm about to complete the second semester. So is internship right now worth my time? Should I focus on internship? Because I plan to do an internship in my summer leaves, but I'm not sure if it's going to be that impactful or not. And if I do go for it, what should my goal or aim be? That after I complete my internship, I should at least know these skills, or I should have this skill set.
Okay. Sorry. Um, if I tell you the truth about internships, so there are two chances. One is you get an internship in a big company like a corporate. If you get an internship there, then they don't have enough time to. They already have a lot to do during the day, so they don't have enough time to cater an interview as well. So you are definitely not going to do anything. I was working at HBL, and then our team hired two internees. I'm just giving you an example. They were graduates from IBA. They were hired as internees, and 9 to 5 they were literally not. And after 2 months, they were given their certificate, and that's what their internship was for. On the other hand, if you get an internship in a smaller company, like where you get to learn a lot because they are understaffed, and that is one of the reasons why they offer internship programs, right? So I would suggest if you're going for an internship, do not join a corporate or a big company. Try to focus on startups. Then that's where you will learn a lot. If that is not the case for you, that is, you're not able to get an internship of your choice, then I would suggest using those 2 months, uh,
Sorry,
learning.
using what?
Sorry.
You just said using what? I couldn't understand the last bit.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, if you are not able to get the internship of your choice, that is, if you go by my plan, getting an internship in a startup, right? Then I would suggest um, using those 2 months to learn online, right?
Okay.
Uh, if you want to specialize in something, uh, if you want to specialize in a domain that is specific to cybersecurity, right? As I said, FAST would teach you the basic, but if you want to get more deep into it, then just do an online course of, let's say, a month. And I can say this by confidence that whatever FAST would uh, get time to teach you in like 4 months, right? Just through your own private learning, you can learn just in a month. Because FAST is going through the pace of 100 students, but you have your own pace. And if you go for that online course yourself, then just within a month, you can grab whatever the university is trying to teach you in like for the whole semester, right? So that way, if you go through this strategy, right, if you do at least 2 online courses every single year, right? So if you start uh, from a fresh year, then at the end of your university tenure, you would have done 8 courses, and you would definitely be a specialist in whichever field is of your interest. And mark my words, you are definitely going to get a job of your choice. And it would be a big tech company. And if it's a big tech company, then it's amazing for your career and it's amazing for your account balance, because that's what motivates us most, right? Uh, our field pays a lot. Yes, you just in a second. Um, yeah, so you can put in your questions here. So one of the motivations to get part of the big tech companies is they pay a lot, right? Uh, I think that would be enough for us to make sure that our tenure at FAST is worth our time, and we make sure we get the best out of it. Yusuf, I'm waiting for your question.
Uh, Hamza, there is one of professor with us, Mr. Nadeem. He is raising his hand. I think he
Oh,
want
sorry,
to say something.
I can't see. Yes, Sir Nadeem. Assalamu alaikum. Hello.
हेलो अस्सलाम वालेकुम
Walaikum salam, Nadeem, sir.
सर ये आई थिंक गलती से रेज हो गया था हैंड तो
Acha, acha. जी,
सॉरी
okay.
फॉर इट
No worries, no worries. Okay, Yusuf, I'm trying to read your question. If somebody aims to get hired in FANG companies, what would be the top 3 things you recommend? We are going to talk about it. I'm interested in what was your FIP like. Someone such as you in Google must have done a fantastic job. Average काम किया था, but I'll talk about it. Is lead code important? One of the slides. So yeah, good point. Okay, I think I have wasted enough of the time. Uh, I'm going to give you guys a problem to solve. I just want to see what the current level of the students of FAST is. Okay, it's a very basic question. I'm pretty sure at least half of you would be able to solve it right away, right? It's actually a programming question, but I don't want you guys to start writing the code. I just want a pseudo code. So there are 2 steps to solving a problem efficiently. One is just think about it in, just put it in a real world scenario, right? Just think about it as a layman. You're not a computer scientist when when you start solving this problem. When you have done this, then you start working on the pseudocode, trying to see, okay, so this is the layman approach, how I convert this layman approach to my pseudocode, right? If you get these 2 steps correctly, then you would be able to pass the first interview of any of the FANG companies. Okay, so this is one of the problems that were asked during my interview. Actually, I was able to solve it. Fortunately, I was it was surprising for me, but anyways, um, Okay. It says 5 minutes, but I'll give you like 10 minutes if it's required, but this should be solved in 5 minutes. The problem is, I'm giving you an array 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the input. Okay. The output should be an array where, let's call it the output array as answer, such that answer of I, so every element uh, at any index of the answer array is equal to the product of all the elements except the input arrays, the element that is on the same index in the input array. For example, if you take 3, so your problem should return um, the product of every element that other than 3 in the nums array at the same index as of 3. Okay, so if you talk about 3, then it should give me 4 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 6 multiplied by 7. That is equal to 840. So I've put in my answer array, I put 840 as the on the first index because that is the index of 3. Same goes for 4. Right? For 4, I would do 3 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 6 multiplied by 7. That should give me 630. I put 630 in the second index. Any questions? Okay. You guys have 5 minutes. I'm going to pick a lot of you randomly, and then I would like to see what solution you have. So since I'm going to pick anybody randomly, it's better that all of you try to solve it. The time starts now. One of the things that they teach you, that they want you to do during your interviews is that you talk through the problem, right? So whoever of you is the most confident is going to unmute yourself, and they're going to talk through the problem with me. And when we are doing this conversation, I'm pretty sure I can help you guys towards the solution. That's the way to do it. Don't try to solve it in an isolated manner. So whoever is confident is going to unmute themselves just now, and they're going to tell me what they're thinking about. So that's one of the
Sir,
things
can I?
during the interview at Google. Yes, please.
Sir, can I?
Sir, may I?
Yes. Yes, go on.
Sir, first we will run two loops, and then we will match the condition. If first loop element matched with second one, so continue. Otherwise, it will multiply.
Okay. So that is called the brute force approach, right? That's what I wanted to do. Wanted you guys to do. Who answered this? Was it
So me, Saad,
Saad? Okay. Your last name?
Saad Ahmed.
Whenever introducing yourself, make sure that you call out your full name to
Okay, sir.
anybody. Okay. Saad Ahmed. Okay, perfect. That's what I wanted you guys to do. First step is to solve this through brute force approach. You're right. You can simply do a nested loop, but that way this problem would have been really easy. No, I won't be giving you such an easy problem. Now here's the caveat. I want you guys to solve this in O of n. So Saad Ahmed, if it's a nested loop, what is the complexity?
Sir, can you repeat the question?
If your program has a nested loop, if it has two loops nested in each other, what is the complexity of that program? Yes, Hamud. Good. Why are you guys not unmuting yourself?
Sir, I have a ON solution, I guess.
You do? Okay. Yeah, let's talk about it.
In a square,
Sir, first of all, we will multiply all the elements in the array in ON time. Then after that, making an output array, we will divide the same element of I मतलब जो एलिमेंट हमें नहीं चाहिए ना उसको डिवाइड कर देंगे हम टोटल मल्टीप्लाई वाले मेरे आंसर से, तो हम जो है ओ ऑफ एन में ये कर लेंगे,
हाँ,
मतलब
मुझे
ओ
तो
ऑफ।
जीरो को लिख सकते हो।
जी
लिखिए
सर,
चैट में
कोड।
डालो।
यस
सीडो
सर,
को
कोड लिख लिया है।
लिखो, चैट में डालो।
ओके सर, वेट।
Yes, Sir Nadeem, have you raised your hand? Avinash. Avinash, you have raised your hand. Okay, Hassan Shahid, I am going through your code. Uh, I would like to see more answers, by the way. Hassan, can you unmute yourself and just talk through the code?
यस सर।
Yes.
सर सबसे पहले वी विल डू, मतलब एक इनिशियलाइज करेंगे एक वेरिएबल मल्टीप्लाई का, एंड
Mm-hmm.
वी विल हैव एन एरे।
Mm-hmm.
आई हैव
ये
सपोज एन
मल्टीप्लाई
एरे
को
ऑफ
1 से
5।
क्यों इनिशियलाइज किया आपने?
मल्टीप्लाई को इसलिए 1 से इनिशियलाइज किया सर, क्योंकि अगर मैं 0 से करता तो फिर वो सब 0 ही हो जाता, तो फायदा क्या।
Good.
तो
Okay.
इनिशियली मल्टीप्लाई 1 होगा, फिर इसके बाद मैं मतलब ट्रैवर्स करूंगा ओ ऑफ एन टाइम में एरे के थ्रू, मतलब एरे को, और हर एलिमेंट को मल्टीप्लाई करा दूंगा। इसके बाद जब मैंने आउटपुट एरे बनाना होगा तब सर मैं जो मेरा टोटल प्रोडक्ट आएगा बेसिकली
Mm.
उसको उस पर्टिकुलर एलिमेंट से डिवाइड कर दूंगा जो मुझे नहीं चाहिए, तो उसका प्रोडक्ट फिर इंक्लूड नहीं होगा। बेसिकली ये होगा।
So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3 4s are 12. I'm just doing a total. Uh, that this is different from my approach. So I'm just confirming if this would work. This does seem like a nice solution. Uh,
Uh, Excuse me, sir.
yes,
This is Ahmed Zaib speaking.
yes.
Actually, I haven't done the code, but I understand that which type of logic is applied to it.
Yes. Let's talk about it.
I think maybe the logic here is that we multiply, we first initialize a variable with 1, and then we set a loop until it has been the until it reaches the final array index. After
Mm-hmm.
it has reached the final array index, it will show the result. So the result of all of the five, or of all of the five indexes, when they are multiplied, it's giving 2520. After
Right.
that, we are going to divide that number by each array index. That is how the answer is coming.
So very similar to what Hassan has put in, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay, just give me 1 second. Okay, Hassan, that is a nice solution. Okay, there is a way with which you can do this in a single loop. So you have used two loops, right?
Yes, sir, but it won't affect as much as n square was affecting.
No, no. So this is a very nice approach, but what I'm saying is there is a way through which
Okay.
you can just use one loop, so you don't need the second loop at all. Okay,
Okay.
uh, but I'm pretty impressed. That is a good solution. But I want you to solve this in just through a single loop, and then get back to me, whoever can. So this is kind of the challenge that we need to solve for this problem. Get the answer array just through a single loop. No nested loop, no double loops, just like Hassan has done. There is a way through which we can solve it in a single loop. Whoever can solve this, just ping me after this meeting, whenever you guys can. And yeah, that would be impressive. Then I would clearly say that that person is ready to uh, apply for any of the FANG companies. And that person is definitely going to get in. Okay. And I would also like to see how much time uh, it has taken for that person to solve the problem. Okay. Um, so I saw there was Hassan, there was Avinash, Uzefa, and Ali and Taha. So just four of you were able to solve this problem. What about the rest? Uh, were you not able to solve it,
So
or
I
yes, Murad?
so I have similar technique like
I'm sorry.
using using just one loop. Uh, so am I audible?
Yes, bro.
Hello,
Yes, I can hear you, Murad.
hello. Yeah, yeah. My approach is also the similar to the guys they did, but there's a chance like you were saying that using just one loop. While
Mhm.
using just one loop, we can do this by using multiply and divide factor. Right? So as we know, and minus and plus, there's not effect on answer. So using this technique, we can do this. Let me write the code. Let me try this in single loop. In single loop, we
Yes.
will be multiplying and also dividing.
Okay. I want you to write the loop, write the code, and then post it in the chat. I am going to move on now because just need to finish this up and actually go to the office now. So let's move on to the further slides.
Okay, sir.
I'm going to try to move quickly because the next slide kind of has the solution to do that. Okay. Who mentioned lead code? There was someone who did mention it. So is it like all of you are already aware of lead code? Let me see who
Yes, sir.
mentioned. Okay, so that is perfect. Uh, when we were graduating, we did not have this much sense that there are this much platforms uh, online through which we can, work through our problem solving skills. But then with you guys, it's so easy, right? Uh, all the FANG companies are getting their interview questions from lead code. I can guarantee this. So I suggest you use lead code as much as you can. You don't need any other website, HackerRank, or I don't think you need it at all. All of the questions from those interviews are coming from lead code. Uh, Solving those questions um, require very strong data structure and algorithm concepts, right? Uh, these problems are a very a strong point of those interviews, right? So you need to be, it does not matter which field you are interested in. Even if you are in cybersecurity, they are going to, and it's not just about FANG companies. If it's a good organization, they are going to make you solve a problem that is related to data structure or any algorithm, because that's what a good computer scientist can do. They can solve problems by thinking in a way a computer can think, right? So it does not matter which field you are in. I'm sure some of you are thinking that, I'm not going to be a programmer at anyways. I'm going to go in, for example, quality assurance or project management or whatever. If you are literally targeting a good organization for your career, then every good organization you give an interview to, they are going to ask you these questions, and they are going to give you a very limited time to solve quite challenging problems, right? Because they need to filter out, right? There are thousands of us, and there are only hundreds of jobs, so they need to filter out. And the only way they can filter out is, everybody can, learn the concepts, learn the theory, but only a few are able to solve complex problems in a very limited time. So that's what it is about. It's a bit disappointing that just five or six of you guys were able to um, solve this question, and it's more than 50 of us in here. Uh, I was expecting a higher number from students of FAST. I'm not sure what the reason is. It was a very, very easy question. Uh, okay, so I'm going to pick someone randomly, and they're going to let me know why they were not able to solve it. Alishba Tariq, were you able to at least start working on the solution? Yes, Hamza.
Sir, Assalamu alaikum. First of all, I
Walaikum assalam.
joined a bit late, so I could not see the question. So could you kindly just repeat it
All right.
or show the slide once again?
Uh, okay. So the question is, you have an array. It has these 5 elements, right? You need to produce an output array from this input array. Let's call it answer. The output array, the element in the output array would be, at the first index, we have 3. So the value you are going to put on the first index of the output array would be the product of every other element in the input array. So in this case, it would be 4 into 5 into 6 into 7, which is equal to 840. For 4, since 4 is at the second index, you're going to multiply every element other than 4 and then put their product on the second index. So it's 3 into 5 into 6 into 7. So I just want you to write a program that runs in O of n complexity and O of n space complexity. So that is O of n time complexity, which means that at most it can only have one loop. And O of n space complexity means, well, that is the easy part, that you can only have one more data structure to use in this program, which is quite prominent, that you're going to create a new output array, which would be your extra data structure you created for this problem. So you can achieve O of n space complexity very easily, but then to do this in O of n time complexity with at most one loop, that is the challenge.
हमजा भाई कोई लैंग्वेज डिपेंडेंसी है
नहीं नहीं, कुछ भी नहीं.
like is there any language
No, no,
so
not
we
one.
can do in Python too?
Sorry. Okay.
We can we solve this using Python too?
Whichever, even if you don't write code, just give me a pseudo code would be fine.
Excellent, sir. I have done in Java language actually.
Good. I am a Java developer. So
Like sir,
Actually, I've
the problem is
posted it.
in Python there is slicing option.
या पाइथन में बहुत इजी हो जाएगा मुराद, पाइथन में तो वही इतनी हर चीज की लाइब्रेरी है।
Yeah,
आपका
yeah,
अपना
yeah.
आप,
I know.
हाँ,
I know.
नहीं पाइथन वाइथन
Library
जीरो
too,
हो
and
जाएगा।
there's a slicing option in Python. Yes. Okay, fine. That's why I was asking.
Sir, I have a question.
By the way,
Yes, Hamza, your question, and then we are going to move quickly to the slides, and I'm getting late for work. Yes, Hamza.
Sir, in this array, should any set of numbers, we put any set of numbers in this array, or are these numbers like sequential? 3, 4, 5, 6. Like,
They have
is
to be
there?
in the same order.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, the order cannot change. Okay. While some of you are solving this problem, I asked Alishba if she can give her solution, but she did not respond. Um, I was expecting that whoever I pick would respond and give me whatever they have thought of. So I think one of the reasons that uh, most of us were not able to get to the solution quite quickly is, again, as I said, we are not practicing enough. Uh, the one of the principles of being a computer science, that is being able to solve problems, and such basic problems should be we should be able to solve them right away. But as I said, there are 50 of us and only 5 of us were able to solve it. I'm not sure what the other 45 are doing. So yeah, we need to be more proactive. uh, so the same point, this is something that uh, I really want to see. uh, get a healthy routine for your day, right? It does not matter if you are a guy or a girl. Make sure that you are exercising every day, right? uh, when you move outside Pakistan, then you're going to see a very different lifestyle, right? That is one of the reasons that गोरे हमेशा खुश रहते हैं। हम कहते हैं ना कि यार कोई भी गोरा उठा लो, जितनी परेशानी हो वो हमेशा खुशी रहता है। What's the reason? This is one of the reasons that they are keeping themselves healthy. They eat healthy, right? A very, I would say 1% of British people smoke, and very few drink. As in, I was surprised. I would think that घर गोरा पीता ही होगा ये सब, लेकिन ऐसा भी नहीं है। Then they are very focused for their on their health, right? And that is what actually helps them when they start their career. They are so good at solving problems. I have a colleague who is 18 years old, probably uh, as old as you guys. Actually younger than most of you, right? He's an apprentice at Google, but the way he solves problem, he's a British, right? The way he solves problem is, I'm pretty sure I would not have been able to do the same when I was 18 myself. So the main reason is we don't have that positive environment when we are in Pakistan around us. For example, अभी आजकल जो हालात चल रहे हैं, right? That is definitely affecting all of you indirectly. Your mental state, your torture, right? You guys are at home just because मुल्क के हालात खराब है. So this affects every individual that is in the country, right? आप पाकिस्तानियों का आईक्यू उठा के देख लो, इट इज वन ऑफ द लोएस्ट। लेकिन उसी पाकिस्तानी को आप मुल्क से बाहर ले जाओ, उसका आईक्यू बूम कर जाता है। So that's because of exposure, and that's because of the lifestyle that they opt for. So make sure that you leave all the bad habits. I'm pretty sure most of the guys at Fast smoke. मेरे टाइम पे बहुत कॉमन था, right? If you're doing that, I would suggest leave that. It's not cool at all. It is not going to get you anywhere, right? It plays with your memory. I've seen many of my friends, they were so good when they were studying at Fast, right? But they were into this stuff. When they started their career, I could literally see them decline, right? Otherwise, on the other hand, if you uh, do not have any bad habit, if you're exercising daily, if you are focused on what you want to do when your career starts, who is stopping you then on joining any of the big companies all over the world. There's no difference between a Pakistani and any other person from the rest of the world, right? The only difference is the routine we involve ourselves in. Okay, so we need to be sure that whenever we are provided with a problem, we are optimistic, right? We just saw that out of 50, only five of us were optimistic enough to solve a very basic problem. The other 45 are not even responding. So that's kind of the core problems. Uh, I did discuss about it a bit. There was, I'm not sure, there was someone who talked about cybersecurity, right? So that is very impressive. As in, you are just in you have not even finished your second semester, if I'm correct, and you already have a field of interest. So that's what I would suggest for every single one of you. Make sure you have a field of interest. Computer science is a very broad field, right? You cannot wait for your 4 years to end and then think about what you want to do, right? If you do that, then you won't be able to get a job, because by the time you graduate from fast, every job you are called for, it would not be just for basic computer science, it would be for a specialized field, and you need to know at least the basics of that field. तो इससे दो नुकसान होंगे, या तो आपको जॉब मिलने में मुश्किल होगी, इट वुड टेक टाइम फॉर यू टू गेट योर फर्स्ट जॉब, और द सेकंड वुड बी जो भी जॉब आपको मिलेगी इट वुड नॉट बी ऑफ योर इंटरेस्ट. For example, this person who is interested in cybersecurity, if he did not start working on it already, I'm really glad that he did, right? And by the end of these 4 years, he's not as good in cybersecurity as someone at his level should be, right? फिर उसको उसकी पसंद की जॉब नहीं मिलेगी डेफिनेटली, बिकॉज ही वोंट बी एबल टू क्लियर द इंटरव्यूज, राइट?
Sir, I have one question.
यस सर.
My name is Ahmed Zev, and I'm the freshman, and this is my second semester actually.
Okay.
Actually, the thing is that in the discrete structures, now the course I'm studying in second semester, I'm very much good in understanding, and I understand the problem very easily. But actually, I do lack some, let's just say, practice in coding. That I do understand the coding a lot, but at sometimes I get stuck. I think maybe that's because of my lack of passion for practicing it, maybe.
True.
So now that 2 months of holidays are coming, so is there any suggestion you would like to give that how can I improve myself for the next 3 years?
If you want to brush your problem solving skills, as I mentioned, go to lead code. Lead code should be your pinned tabs on your laptop. Just solve one problem a day. Start with the easy problems. Even when you guys actually spend time on lead code, you would see, just not lead code, any problem that is out there on the internet, even if it's marked as easy, when you start solving it, you're going to, I'm just mark my words that it would, as in on the screen, it would say that this problem can be solved in, let's say, 10 minutes. But then when you start solving it, you would see that you're taking way more time. It could take you hours. So that should not be the case, right? An
I
easy problem
think
should be solved in 10 minutes. So start working on it. Start with the easy problems. As I said, one problem a day should be fine, right?
yes, yes, I understand. And of course, the question which you just gave right now was very much like the digester graph also, which I've also studied in discrete structures.
Uh, I do remember that algorithm, but isn't that related to graph? I'm not sure. It's been quite some time when I read Dijital's algorithm. But whatever it is, I think Muhammad, I answer your question. So if you want
No,
to
sir.
your your problem solving skills, go to the internet and solve one problem at least two problems at least a week, if it's not one problem a day. If you guys
Islam.
start doing this, just one minute, sorry. If you guys start doing this at this stage, I'm pretty sure when you guys graduate, you would be at the level of my FANG colleagues. Okay,
Islam, sir.
what is now?
I'm
Yeah.
Ali, final year student of FAST USS.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, I have a question that I have expertise in DevOps engineering field, and I have done Microsoft Azure Associate Developer uh,
Mm-hmm.
batch. So, should I apply for remote jobs, and what are the future of DevOps engineer in uh, Bang and in remote countries? What advice did you give me as a DevOps engineer? Should I follow?
DevOps, DevOps is a very hot field, uh, a very highly paying field as well.
Okay,
It is a good place to go. Um, since everything is, every product is, they are trying to containerize it and put it on cloud. They need DevOps engineers, right?
okay, sir.
Um, but if I talk about the future, I'm pretty sure all of this would be automated through AI. So after 10 years, I don't see a DevOps engineer being in that much demand, because if you read about the latest developments of Azure or AWS, they are actually working towards automating the configuration of any of their infrastructure through AI,
Yes, sir.
right? So, but it is definitely a very good field to get into. Later on, obviously, after 10 years, you have more opportunities to switch to. But yeah, and you asked for remote work. Yeah, I would suggest remote work if you think the organization is going to teach you enough. Otherwise, I think the first job should be on site, because the pressure that is on site is very different than when you're working remotely. So you would definitely get a better experience. Uh, I have a very limited time. Can we uh, leave the questions for, let's say, just send me a ping on LinkedIn?
Thanks a lot, sir.
No worries. Okay. I think I've already covered all of this. Yeah. Someone mentioned Data Camp for one of the courses they are doing. I think it's pretty nice. I did one
Yes,
course.
I mentioned.
Right, Murad. Cool. So yeah, data camp is good for data science stuff. I did one course from it when I was doing my masters. I do have better experience with Coursera and Udemy, so that's why I'm suggesting these. It could be any website out there. If you want to specialize, as I said, do an online course, because the university can only teach you uh, at a certain limit, right? The rest is up to you. So yeah. To reiterate, you need to make sure that you're spending time outside of your university schedule. That is going to help you a lot. Uh, the last point, yes, you should know how to sell yourself. Whenever, this was the one of the first points I mentioned. Whenever you are in any conversation with anybody, even if it's your family members, right? You need to make sure that you are prominent in that conversation, right? uh, in this meeting, I know at least five people, at most five people, I'm sorry, at most five people who, uh, were confident enough to talk to me, and I am going to definitely remember their name. There was Murad Pitafi, there was Hassan Shahid, there was Ahmad Zaid, I believe, there was Muhammad Ali, there was Avinash. Okay, I'm definitely going to remember, and there was Hamza K. He just popped up, so
Thank
I
you,
know.
sir. Thank you, sir. I'm trying my best to solve that problem, but I'll be making sure to do lead code questions more and more.
Yes, try to do that. If you are able, if any of you is able to do that, to solve that problem, then make sure to ping me. I would definitely like to have a look. By the way, this problem is one of the free problems on Lead Code, the one I asked. So if you just go on Lead Code and try to search for it, just go in the solution section. You're going to see many solutions. So you might see the solution I'm talking about in there. If so, that's just to help you guys get to the solution faster enough. Okay. So yes, as I said, you should know how to sell yourself. Do not be shy in any conversation, right? When you guys start your career, you would be in a lot of meetings, and there would be many stakeholders in the meeting, right? You need to make sure that in every meeting you get yourself into, you say at least one sentence. If you're not doing that, uh, then you're preventing yourself from many opportunities. One of the key points to get yourself promoted is showing your organization that you're good at communicating. You're good at expressing yourself. Most of the Pakistanis are not. We're not good at communicating ourselves. Even it took me quite some time to be this confident. But then when I was in my university, I always tried to make sure that uh, मुझे कुछ भी नहीं आता था ना, whatever was being talked about, I would just ask a question at least, because I knew that I start with very basic, and then definitely I would come at a point where I could lead a conversation. So you guys need to start doing that. All right. Um, that is pretty much everything I wanted to talk about. Any more questions? Where is it?
Uh, I would like to ask you something. Like I have solved 8 problems till now. Like I am using LeetCode since third semester. Now my fourth semester is about to finish. So I have solved 8 problems. Just there is a problem. Medians of sorted array. I hope if you have solved that.
Sorry, which problem? Hello? Murad, can you repeat your question, please? Hello? Okay, Murad, you are
Yeah,
mute. Yeah, please go on.
there's a problem median of two sorted arrays.
Sorted arrays, yeah, there are many problems for sorted arrays. What's your question?
Uh, like
Median
have
of
you
two
solved
sorted
that
arrays.
question?
Okay. Yes.
If you have solved it or attempted it, can you just tell me a little bit about this
Uh,
approach?
अब ऐसे याद तो नहीं
If you
है
have
मुझे
solved.
देखना पड़ेगा. We can talk about it privately on LinkedIn.
Okay, fine, 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 fine.
All right. Um, any more questions before we wrap it up?
Something, sir.
Yes. Farhan,
So,
unmute.
although I joined the session very late because I'm in my class, so I missed the session as well. I joined the session from the lead code slide that you showed. So that's why I'm unable to solve the question. So I have a question that as my second year is going to complete in some days, so I have 2 months. Okay, so I have some knowledge of like web development, some knowledge, very basic HTML and CSS, right? So would you be recommend to apply for an internship, or I might do projects or do courses in this 2 months?
Um, I did answer this question. So, if for an internship, try to get it in a startup and not a big corporate, because in a startup only they would treat you well enough when you're doing your internship, and they would let you learn new things. In a corporate, they don't have enough time to uh, to take care of internees while they are doing their day-to-day stuff. Uh, if you don't get an internship of this kind, then I would suggest doing online courses as you can. So these 2 months that you get, they are obviously uh, you can use them as much as you want, right? So in these 2 months, you can do at least 3 online courses of any specialized field you are interested in, and yeah, there would be. I think that would be better than doing an internship if that internship is not letting you do hands-on work. That answers your question, Farhan?
Thank you. Thank you. Sir.
Okay. Um, any more questions before we wrap it up?
अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर।
वालेकुम अस्सलाम। जी दानिश।
सर मुझे पूछना था कि एज अ
दानियाल,
फ्रेशी,
आपने प्रॉब्लम नहीं सॉल्व किया, आपको तो मैंने
सर
सबसे
वो
पहले
किया
इक्कीस
था,
भेजा
प्रॉब्लम
हुआ।
सॉल्व किया था, लेकिन सिमिलर तकरीबन 19-20 थी, तो वो पोस्ट नहीं किया।
ओके
वो डबल लूप के साथ था, इसलिए।
ओके, ठीक है। फिर भी आप अपने प्रॉब्लम के साथ हमें वॉक थ्रू करा सकते थे, जस्ट लाइक मुराद एंड हमजा।
सही। सर
ओके,
मुझे
थैंक यू।
पूछना था कि एज अ फ्रेशी एक कोई जनरल रोड मैप हो आपके पास, या फिर कोई एक जनरल आइडिया हो कि इस तरह अप्रोच करना चाहिए आपको मूविंग
यार
फॉरवर्ड फ्रॉम फर्स्ट ईयर।
काइंड ऑफ वही जो मैंने बेसिक गाइडलाइंस दी हैं उन्हीं को फॉलो करो। एक स्पेशलाइज्ड फील्ड पिक कर लो, जैसे फॉरगेटिंग द नेम अगेन, जिन्होंने साइबर सिक्योरिटी में इंटरेस्ट शो किया था, तो ऐसे ही आप कोई फील्ड पिक कर लो। सबसे पहले तो आपको, अभी आप फ्रेश हो ना, so
एग्जैक्टली,
I think it's actually quite early for you to pick a specialized field. Maybe in your second year you would be in a position where you can uh, make this decision, right? For now, I would suggest try to be a good computer scientist, and a good computer scientist at first is able to solve problems efficiently,
राइट।
right? तो उसके लिए मैंने आपको जैसे बताया, brush up your problem solving skills, um, because that is going to change the way you think towards a problem,
सही।
right?
सर आप अपना लिंक्डइन शेयर कर दें।
जी, LinkedIn यार, ये it's Hamza-Raza-Siraj. So let me put it in the chat as well. Whoever wants to, if they have any specific details they want to ask, any technical question, I'm ready to help. So this is the handle for LinkedIn. Just let me know.
Hello.
Yes, Ayman.
I wanted to ask that how can we get started with open source contributions and whether it is really important to get our first job.
No, it's not that important. मैंने कभी नहीं किया, लेकिन ये कि अगर है, if you have contributed to an open source project, or you have your personal GitHub repository that is public, so that helps a lot. So when you are in an interview, you can actually show them the code that is online, that this is the standard that I work with when I'm coding. So that definitely helps, and it's going to give you a lot of confidence. So open source contribution is, I would suggest, whoever can get into that would be really nice.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So Fahad, should we wrap it up?
Yes, thank you, Hamza, for your time. I think that was fruitful session for the students. और आपने ये भी लिंक इन भी आपने शेयर कर दिया, तो फ्यूचर में अगर कोई स्टूडेंट आपसे कोई गाइडेंस या कोई बात करनी हो तो वो आपसे इंशाल्लाह कर सकेगा।
Inshallah.
Once again, thank you.
No worries. Inshallah, see you guys later. See you guys in the market. Have a nice day. Goodbye. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz, sir.
Yeah.
Allah Hafiz.